Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to show you guys how to make these pumpkin sourdough cinnamon rolls. So soft and gooey, and they're so easy to make. For the dough, we are going to put 180 grams of active sourdough starter and 110 grams of warm water. The warm water will help the fermentation be quicker, and you can make these in one day. So now I am using a can of pumpkin puree. This is a 15-ounce can, and I used the whole can. I like to mix all of these together before adding the rest of the ingredients, and just making sure that everything is well incorporated. I then add 1 egg. I use about 90 grams of sugar. You can use from 70 to 90. I like to put 90 just because of the pumpkin puree. I feel like it needs a little bit of that sweetness. I then added 3 grams of pumpkin spice. You can add a little bit more if you'd like. I used 10 grams of salt. I used 10 grams of vanilla paste, and I added some butter. I added 1/4 cup of melted butter. It has to be cooled, that way you don't kill your starter. And then I like to mix everything gently together, and then I add 620 grams of bread flour, and then I go ahead and put it in the stand mixer because I didn't want to hand mix it this time. You definitely can for about 10 to 15 minutes. So I left this dough in the stand mixer until it started pulling away from the stand mixer, and then I transferred it into a clean bowl. I like to shape it into a ball, that way I can see its rise. And I also like to make sure the dough has somewhat of a window pane. I am going to show you guys here what that looks like. You're basically just going to pull the dough a little bit, and you're going to be able to see through the dough slightly without it tearing. If it's tearing a little bit, you can definitely just do a stretch and fold after an hour. And then once it's done bulk fermenting, you can go ahead and shape it into a rectangle. I added flour because unfortunately I did overproof my dough this time. I had to go somewhere, and when I came back it was overproofed, and I was so sad, but they came out so good and they were so soft and fluffy, and I don't know, the texture was even more amazing. So you can overproof this dough and it'll still taste really, really good. So after you're done shaping your dough into a rectangle as best as you can, this dough can actually get even longer and wider, but I don't have that much counter space, so I left it like this. But here I am just adding some melted and softened butter to the dough. I like to add a little bit of both, the softened and the melted, because I feel like the sugar sticks to the dough better and it doesn't melt out when it is baking. So here I am adding the cinnamon sugar filling, and I also added some pumpkin spice. I did 150 grams of sugar, 4 tablespoons of cinnamon, and about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the pumpkin spice. You can add more or less, but since the dough already has some pumpkin spice, I didn't want to overwhelm it with that flavor. But if you want it like super strong, then go for it, add more. You can go ahead and taste it before you even put it on the dough and see if you like to add more cinnamon or more of that pumpkin spice. As you saw, I like to mix the cinnamon sugar into the butter until it feels like wet sand, and then you just go ahead and roll up your dough. I like to use a bench scraper instead of the floss to cut my dough, but I use 3 fingers, which is about 1.5 inches wide, for the cinnamon rolls, and I feel like this is the perfect size for them because they get so big and so fluffy, and it just wows anyone that sees these, which is something that I truly love when I share my baked goods. So as I said before, I did overproof my dough, so it looks a little bit too soft here, but I put it in the refrigerator overnight to cold proof, and then in the morning I took them out and I let them sit on the counter for about 2 hours. And now I just added some heavy cream, and I did preheat my oven to 375 degrees, and I baked these for about 35 to 45 minutes. Since my dough was a bit on the thicker side, I did bake mine for 45 minutes because I wanted to get them nice and toasty on the top, as you can see here. And although this dough was a little bit overproofed, as you can tell, the swirl is not perfect, but they turned out amazing. They turned out so soft and so delicious. And for the icing, I did a block of cream cheese, which is about 8 ounces. I did 1 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. You can add more if you want it a little bit sweeter. I did add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and 1 tablespoon of vanilla paste. You can also add some pumpkin spice. I didn't for this recipe, but you definitely can. As always, the ingredients for everything will be in the description for you guys if you just want to screenshot. But here I am just adding the icing, and wow, you guys, these cinnamon rolls are so delicious. They're so soft, and I wish you guys could just smell what my house smelled like when I baked these. And I really hope you guys try this recipe out and let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys don't overproof it as I did, but if you guys do, just know that you guys will get the softest, most delicious, and gooeyest cinnamon rolls that you've ever made. And I'm just kidding, but yes, they're so good, and I hope you guys give it a try. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more fall recipes. Also, when you give my video a like, there's also this new hype button that you can push. It's totally free, but it helps push out my videos so more people can enjoy my videos and my recipes. And I would truly appreciate it if you guys can do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And look at how soft this cinnamon roll is, you guys. It was like coming apart, falling apart. It was so good. And I want to thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.